Sawadee and welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Wednesday for the Funkit Pod. And again, different time than usual. Why? Because, well, it was Saturday night and you know what that meant. Saturday Night Dynamite, one time only, or well, until they do it again. Saturday Night Dynamite time. So let's just talk about this and then we talk about SmackDown, what happened there. So, this time around, again, of course, Jim Ross, Tony, and Excalibur on the mic. And Jim Ross started off just like me now twice. It's Saturday night, and you know what that means. Of course, you know what it means. So, but while it starts, you see early in the day that Alex Marvez, backstage guy, tries to interview Sammy Guevara, and then Sammy Guevara got attacked by Sean Spears with a chair, like one chair shot only, and then Spears is like, yeah, good luck next week when you're gonna face MJF and so on. One chair shot, come on, that's not gonna keep Sammy down. Then we start with the opening match: Hangman Adam Page versus Powerhouse, stupid name, Hobbs, 1-on-1. Sure. Taz was, of course, on commentary this time around again. So this time, first time around that Hobbs, I think, wrestles without Taz ringside at his manager or something like this. And Jim Ross with like great references. I wrote one down. The others I didn't write down. I was too starstruck. He's like, Hobbs is a magnificent athlete. He reminds me of Hacksaw Butch Reed. So nasty. Only people around in the 1920s get this reference, I guess. But anyways, so Hobbs started just beating down on Page and so on, of course, targeting the right arm, the one for the buckshot lariat. Of course, Page was hanging in there. Then coming back, of course, as well. In between, Hobbs even like trying to hit the Vader bomb. You remember, if you're an OG, you remember the Vader bomb. Page countered. Came back, of course, so then back and forth, and eventually Page would have the upper hand. Then, as expected, of course, Hook and Ricky Starks came out. They tried to help Hobbs, of course. Starks with the FTW title, and then Brian Cage walked out. Hook ran away. He grabbed Starks, grabbed the title, kicked Starks out, basically, which then led to Page trying to hit the buckshot lariat. But Hobbs countered it, didn't get the victory. So, however, like I was a bit confused because so Adam Page tries to go for his finish. So then eventually, however, Page was able to hit the Dead Eye and got the pinfall victory. So well done here. That was a good match. It was a really good opener. The crowd was invested. I was invested, which is the most important thing, AEW. So I appreciate it. That was fun. It was a good opener, fun to watch. I think Adam Page slowly needs to get back into the main picture again, but great match, fun to watch. Yeah, well done. Good start to the night. We then had, of course, again, a promo by the Young Bucks. They're going to be like, we're going to beat Eddie Kingston we already beat everybody. And next we're gonna beat Kingston and Penta El Cero Miedo. Because they're the EVPs, extremely violent people. That was lame. Okay, then we had Conan coming to the ring. He's like the mentor to Santana and Ortiz, as you can see, of course. And he went face to face with Tully Blanchard. Tony tried to say it's a gentleman's discussion, but then of course he got attacked by FTR, who previously beat down Santana and Ortiz, then disguised themselves as Santana and Ortiz, took down the hoodies, and then they stood behind Conan, being FTR and beating him down. Yeah, interesting. So it shows like how despicable the Pinnacle is, of course. Yes. But this segment per se, I didn't really need it, but okay, it just shows that all of the Pinnacle are a-holes, of course. So yes, nice, okay. They even hit like a pile driver on a Conan, by the way, like this assisted pile driver. So just to drive home, not just punching or whatever, so actually really hitting a move on him. Punching home that they are all despicable beings in the Pinnacle. You then had, Dante Martin coming in, and then Vicky Guerrero comes out, like, excuse me, with Andrade El Idolo, and wanted to say something, but then Matt Sydal just comes out like, hey, you're not taking my shine here. And Vicky holds back Andrade, so this might set up the next fight between Andrade El Idolo and Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal with his brother Mike then takes on Dante Martin, which was the first match that got, second match on the card, which got then This Is Awesome chance, because, I mean, those are two high flyers. Matt Sydal, a more, balanced approach now, like also a bit wrestling heavy, right? But mat heavy, but still flies a lot. And Dante Martin from the tag team Top Flight flies a lot. And the moves that he hit, Dante Martin, some of them I haven't seen in a long time, because I haven't been watching New Japan in a while. So left me go like, what did he just do? So that was really cool. So if you want to see some high flying world class action, check this out. It was really good. Like Dante Martin and Matt Sydal, pulled out lots of stops here. That was really good. Matt Sydal tried to be like the more cerebral one, like going for the knees of Dante Martin and so on, so that makes sense. But then in between, Dante Martin hit like a drop kick, like out of full speed to the knee. That was smart. That was really cool. So it's not just spot monkeying, if you will, but the spots made sense that they picked. So that was really cool. Dante Martin had a few 2 counts. Then we also had Sydal with a few near falls. In the end, Dante hit a flipping stunner over Sydal, which was really cool, but also just a near fall. Then he jumped off the top rope because Sydal recovered. Then he hurt his knee, and then Sydal had the lightning spiral, I believe that's what it's called, right? And this was enough to then get the victory. But it was a really good match. It was awesome. That was fun. That was really, I enjoyed this a lot. Then we go backstage again. Christian Cage, they're giving a prep talk to Jungle Boy. People say, you don't belong here, you don't earn this, but you show them, and so on. So nice prep talk by Christian Cage for Jungle Boy. All right, then again, Alex Marvez backstage with the Pinnacle, MJF, Shawn Spears, and Wardlow, and then they get attacked. While they talk, they get attacked by Chris Jericho and Jack Hager, and they're brawling. And they're brawling, of course. They're brawling to the ring. Then, of course, numbers advantage and so on, and eventually they brawl until until Chris Jericho is down and MJF holds his arm to the canvas. Shawn Spears takes the chair, hits it once, like, yeah, let's go. Then he hesitates. The music hits. It's Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara storming out, cleaning house, standing tall, grabbing the mic, cutting a quick promo on MJF. That's where Sammy Guevara still needs some, practicing. I guess the promos aren't as natural as they come for MJF, for example. But he's like, on Wednesday, I'm gonna show everyone why I'm the best in the world, around, whatever. Did he just steal Chris Jericho's line? Okay, so this should be fun though. MJF versus Sammy should be really fun. We then go again backstage, of course, because ring backstage. Miro sitting on a chair with a chain with a cross, like a Christian cross, across his knuckles. Maybe that's his new thing now, that he's this strong believer. And he's like, I want to thank God for the power I have and for my hot and flexible wife. It's just nice that he throws those things in while still being very serious. That's really nice. And then just he goes out on Brian Pillman Jr. What did he say? He says the bravest thing you ever did was probably thinking about attacking me, and the dumbest thing you ever did was actually doing it. And so this should be a fun distraction on Wednesday when Miro killed Brian Pillman Jr. We then later have All Ego Ethan Page with Scorpio Sky out, of course, versus Bear Country's Bear Bronson, with Bear Boulder out there. And it's just too cheesy for me. Of course, Bear Bronson, right? Yes, Bear Bronson, stronger, and Ethan Page showing off a little bit and trying to bully Bear Bronson, but how can you bully a bear? So of course, Bear Bronson comes out or returns fire. Jim Ross saying, and I wrote it down too, let me read it. That shot may have woken up the hibernating bear. Oh my God, Jim Ross. Yeah, so then they engage in a back and forth. Bear Bronson, of course, the stronger one. Of course, it ends up in a brawl also on the outside and so on. Eventually, then Bear Bronson ends up on the turnbuckle. Page fights him and then adds the eagle lands the eagle's edge. Is it right? And gets the pinfall. Oh no, it's called Ego's Edge because it's all Ego, Ethan Page, of course. Ego's Edge, and then gets the victory. After the match, he grabs the mic. It's like, I'm the best, blah, blah, blah. Darby Allin, I'm going to be the nail in your coffin. I challenge you to a coffin match. You beat him down last time. Why do you need to fight him again? Anyway, at Road Rager on July 7th in Miami, it will be all Ego, Ethan Page, and Scorpio Sky versus Darby Allin and Sting. All right. Then get another promo of Dr. Britt Baker and Rebel and Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose, because that's what's going to happen next week. Vicky Guerrero in a tag team match with Nyla Rose. Sure. We then have the Galaxy's greatest alien, Chris Statlander, versus the Bunny. And of course, the Bunny comes out with the blade. That was okay. It was a nice back and forth for a while. Also then spilled to the outside, but every time when the Bunny tries to be super aggressive, it looks a bit weird because she's not that athletic, and that's not a dig on her, but it's like she tried to hit like this running drop kick, and then she just runs what feels forever until she reaches her destination to jump for the drop kick, the missile drop kick, and then the impact just doesn't look as hard as it should be, I think. But yeah, anyway, so it was still a fun match, and then the Blade tried to give brass knuckles to the Bunny, then the Bunny holds it up behind the referee's back, like, I'm gonna use it now, while the referee is occupied with the Blade. And Orange Cassidy slides into the ring, takes the knuckle away from her, puts it in his pants, and just goes out without interfering in the match again, out of the ring. And then Chris Statlander actually then pins the Bunny and gets the victory. Then of course the Blade, however, beats down Orange Cassidy. And it ends up, and then Jack Evans is out there as well in a helico, and then they join the beat up, of course. Orange Cassidy then all out there when the Blade actually knocks him out with those brass knuckles. So, Alright, then eventually we do get to the main event, the AEW World Title match between, I can't do this one, but Jungle Boy comes out to like a great reception of the audience. Like everyone's on page with Jungle Boy singing his theme song. Luchasaurus out with him, Marco Stunt out with him, Marco Stunt like all fired up, like, yeah, man. Then out comes Kenny Omega with like all the 27,000 championships that he's holding right now. And of course, he's also coming out with the Good Brothers. Really early in the match, the ref ejects everybody because Marco Stunt just goes crazy for some reason, and so he ejects Marco Stunt, Luchasaurus out there. He sends the Good Brothers out. That's then when Don Callis joins commentary, and then Omega just overpowers Jungle Boy for a bit, but Jungle Boy, of course, fights back and then hits also some insane moves on Omega. It's like a 33-minute match or something in the end. Watch it. It's also really awesome. And for all the hate Omega gets, like, he does make Jungle Boy look really good here as well. Like, he sells very well. Jungle Boy then hits some of his finishing moves, like his submission maneuver, and then Omega just barely gets the ropes. Then he hits it another time, and then the Good Brothers, of course, come out, but then also Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt come out, and then they brawl with the Good Brothers, but it's enough distraction for Omega to take over again from Jungle Boy, who had the upper hand at that moment. And it's just like a huge back and forth, and like lots of running knees, V triggers to Jungle Boy, and he kicks out, he keeps kicking out. Jungle Boy then back again in the driver's seat, but Omega again can break it up. I'm back with Omega, then trying to hit the one-winged angel, but Jungle Boy reverses it twice into respective cover attempts where Omega can kick out. That's crazy. So that match was really good. And in the end, however, of course, like Omega was just too much. He had hit like a Tiger Driver and a one-winged angel on Jungle Boy, and then picks up the victory. But that was a great match. Kenny Omega then just said, or Don Callis calls Kenny Omega the god of pro wrestling, which you can argue, but I mean, he's really good, and it was just lots of fun. And it's just a great match. Then, of course, he tries to take the bell and tries to hit Jungle Boy with it. But then Christian Cage comes out, fights off Kenny Omega to protect Jungle Boy. Then Hardy and Private Party, the Hardy family front office, come out. Then they beat down Christian Cage. Eventually, after back and forth, Hardy hits his maneuver on Christian Cage. The Young Bucks also out there involved, super kicking Cage before. So that was just a whole like brawl and beatdown of Christian Cage, which of course eventually will lead to something down the road. All right, that's my review of Dynamite for Saturday. It felt kind of like a pay-per-view even. I mean, it's only 5 matches, but it was awesome 5 matches. If you haven't watched any, watch them. The main event, the must watch, of course. Dante Martin, Matt Sydal, just great entertainment. They are all good matches and they all led to something. Even the women's match, which was not that long and not particularly that great, but still very good, was enjoyable to watch and led to something. So it was all very, very well done. So I appreciated this. Watch it if you haven't done so already. All right. Now, how do we transition from something must-watch to SmackDown? Well, okay, so SmackDown was also must-watch at least for the main, not event, but section of the show. Because in the main section of the show, at the very end, when Roman Reigns, of course, being in the middle of the ring, like saying, hey, there's no one left, I beat everybody, I beat them, I'm the best, or Heyman basically says that he's the best, and then Roman Reigns takes the microphone, like, tries to say something, then music hits. On this day, I see clearly, and we saw clearly what's happening through all the smoke on stage. Edge returns, runs to the ring, a bit of back and forth, eats a Superman punch eventually, but eventually then, of course, hits the spear on Roman Reigns. And then, because he's so mad about what Reigns did and so on, Reigns took a chair before, but before Reigns could hit him, he hit the spear on Reigns. So Reigns, then he puts Reigns' head on the chair, tries to go out, gets another chair, concerto time, like, yes, concerto. And then it's Jimmy Uso interfering, beating down Edge. Edge then firing back, of course, and eventually spearing Jimmy Uso through the barricade into the Thunderdome, into the Thunderdome video screens. That was well made. And in the meantime, Roman Reigns back up the ramp, of course, and yeah, Reigns is like, I'm here, back in the ring. I'm here. You want me? I'm here. So yes. Now the question is, will Roman Reigns, will he one more time defeat Edge, and then like Edge's momentum is completely gone, because I mean he lost twice then to Roman Reigns. I mean, how many more times can you book it? Will Reigns win? But then we won't get Roman Reigns versus The Rock. So that's gonna be interesting to see, or like how long they're gonna try to use this, of course. So this should be interesting. But a few other things happened on SmackDown too. I took away now the main portion, of course. But before, we saw Jimmy Uso versus Dolph Ziggler. Like Jimmy was like, man, yeah, so Jay's not here, but even though I'm not your bitch, I'm here with family, I got your back. And then Roman Reigns is like, yeah, prove it. And Paul Heyman's like, hey man, should I make it happen for you? But if you don't win, like a threat, right? So then Jimmy Uso versus Dolph Ziggler. He defeats Dolph Ziggler eventually, even though it looked like very bad for him in between, but he defeats Ziggler with a super kick. Goes backstage like, yeah man, I won, but Roman Reigns is not impressed by his performance, and then just walks off, and Paul Heyman is like, yeah, you did well, don't worry, it's okay. And then afterwards is what I just described earlier, when it all broke down, and then Jimmy actually saved Roman Reigns. So let's see if Roman Reigns shows some thankfulness for this. We also had Carmella being named or like thrown into the money in the bank ladder match by Sonya Deville. So Sonya is like, I announced the first participant for the Money in the Bank ladder match. It's Carmella. Like, why? And then Liv Morgan comes out like, why? I beat her. Why is she in there? And then they have another match, and Liv Morgan wins. So Liv Morgan is also in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't like the Sonya Deville character. I think way too much makeup, by the way. But I don't like the that Deville thing that she's doing right now. Why is she there? I don't get it, to be honest. We also saw Big E versus Apollo Crews, and this time around Big E eventually actually made it happen. He defeated Apollo Crews with a big ending. Commander Aziz got ejected in between so that he couldn't interfere anymore. And out of a counter, basically, Big E picks up Apollo Crews, hits the big ending, wins, and also is in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Nice. We had the coronation of Shinsuke Nakamura. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura is right now. I hate you, WWE, I hate you. And we had Bayley and Seth Rollins defeating Bianca Belair and Cesaro in a mixed tag team match. I don't know what to think about this, to be quite honest. It was like fun interaction, like Bayley and Seth are great heels, like just delusional and so on. It was also great to, like, when Cesaro is just awesome. I'm in the ring, of course, but I'm just not a big fan of like how Bianca Belair acts as a champion and her promos. It just doesn't do much for me, to be honest. I leave it at this because while I talk about this, I'm thinking, what's going to happen next with Cesaro? Was this the push already? Is he now relegated to this again? Is this all? And it's going to be sad. Well, let me know what you think. What's the plan with Cesaro? Is he not going to get any other shot anymore at the main picture, the main title? Was it already? What are your thoughts on SmackDown, on Dynamite? How did you enjoy it? What was your favorite match? What didn't you like? Hit me up in the comments, social media, follow @funkitpod or send an email, funkitpod@gmail.com. Until then, that's it. Don't forget to kick out at 2. Stay safe. Take care. See you next time. Saudi Cup.